approach spices today. It's all in the sauce is a very good saying. And what's in the sauce? Okay, this whole area might be kind of overwhelming in our modern age. They made long routes between Europe and Asia to get spices. These days we can have a blue zillion of them. In the day, though, it wasn't the case. So now, though, you can get anything. So if you turn around, if Donnie turns around and looks at our spice thing here, you will notice that there are, I don't know, 50 of them. Right? You can think, oh, my. But just as it is with any medium with me, you just get to know whatever it is you got to work with. So whether you're just, if you're in the field of art, you've got different medium in different areas. So like you might do pastels over here and oil over there and like watercolor over there, and you just kind of need to get to know what you're dealing with. It's not that different one to another. And there are principles that apply throughout. In the case of art, there's usually primaries, and you add those together and get everything. Sort of, with spices, there are just a few things that we like to know. So the overwhelm comes from just not doing one thing at a time for me. So we're going to do one thing at a time, and what we're just going to do right now is go over sort of areas of spices, and then we will be applying them to several different dishes, and then you'll get the idea of how to treat them. If you get to know your spices and you treat them well, they will treat you well. You can be famous or not famous, in my experience, with how you deal with the spices. For example, cooking them, before we go into it. Many of them like to be cooked. And that's one little, it's like a little tricky thing you get to know. It's not tricky, but you do get to know it. So throwing the spices in at the end or something, or sautéing them at the beginning can be the difference between whether it's just really fantastic or, in my case, you feel kind of nauseous. If you put them at the end, like if I have smell raw spices, I have them in the cupboard, I'm thinking, oh no, but you cook them is a completely different thing. So we're just going to get to know our spices a little right now, and I'll show you my chart so I remembered what to say to you. You guys have a dry erase board. It does not have words on it necessarily. You can have anything you want to remind you of what you're doing today. This is our course. Okay, so here we are, and what we're going to do is look at some of the kind of fresher spices. I don't have everything today. Ginger is easy to get fresh and used in several different cuisines and is very, very good for you, especially used properly. Turmeric also good for you if used properly. Not as common in Western food, but coming on. These days people figured it out. And those are pungent. Mostly ginger is pungent. There are the pungent spices. That means the hot ones, what people call spicy ones. And they come in different forms. They come in cans. These days they come fresh. They come dried whole. This is a pepper, red pepper. They come in flakes. They come in powder. And you probably all know this, but like the powders come in different heat strengths, so you can get whatever power you want. And of course, when we're cooking with them, you'll see what I do and what I've learned to do over time to bring out the best in them and to let them work together in appropriate ways. I mean, the part of the overwhelm is like, which ones do I use together? It will depend on often the ethnic region that you're working in. Sour comes in, so you've seen that the hot ones come in different shapes and forms. Black pepper is in this category. Pungent. Now we're in the sour. Tamarind is from a tree, and it's used in India quite a bit and somewhat in Thailand. And it's often used in a chutney, in my experience in India, like date tamarind chutney. Really good. It's sour and very flavorful. So as you know, if you compared something like, say, this is a balsamic vinegar to the taste of a lime, you know they're both sour, but it's like completely unique flavor in there. Lemons are naturally in this category. Other types of vinegar, any of your alcohols are in that category. Pomegranates even, so some of the fruits are very sour. There's that. Now, we're going to go into the sweet spices here. Sweet spices you kind of have the idea with that. Vanilla is always thought of as a sweet spice. Universally beloved pretty much. We have the other ones that are like, if you think of like pumpkin pie, or those are usually sweet. Nutmeg, cinnamon. We have cardamom. This is how they look in the pot in case you've never had a chance to see. And they have little seeds inside. You can buy just the seeds. And if you do buy just the seeds, look for the darkest color. These aren't too bad. And then, of course, they'll be keeping pretty well inside their little shell. Now, that's another thing. Okay, we'll go into that in a minute. Now we're going to look at the dried ones. I'm just going to pull them here for ease. Turmeric, cumin, and coriander are the classic Indian ground spices. Get them as fresh as you can. We have whole seeds. Now, this is fun. I mean, maybe you can stand there and just look at the seeds while I point. We have black mustard seeds, pungent. Yellow mustard, also pungent. We have black pepper, I mentioned. Long pepper, oh my, very, very nice, in the same family. We have what's a little seed called ajwain and celery seed. Those aren't as, ajwain is more for the India, and the celery is more for the West. That comes from there. We've also got the powdered mixes. So you can buy mixes like curry powder or garam masala at the store. I have ground by the man behind the camera, cardamom. Really nice, not hard to do. So those cardamom pods I used, if you get the little seeds, you won't have to shell a bunch of them. And then you can grind it in your magic bullet, and there it is. It's fantastic, 100% different. It's not that easy to get it anyway powdered, but like do that, it's easy. Cinnamon powder, and then we showed you the whole sweet spices. What else have we got going here? Donnie made me a beautiful 5-spice mixture, same way, grind it in the magic bullet. We've got, you know, anise and fennel, both sweet. We've got black pepper, mustard maybe, classic 5-spice, and same story. You can make this yourself. So some of these things you can make up yourself. And if you make a curry powder, like you can make a curry powder up yourself, it mostly is the 3 basics, turmeric, cumin, and coriander, but it will also have some kind of cayenne in there, and you can you know, control the amount of heat. So in our household, I like to control the amount of heat. I can only take it so hot. Some people like it fiery hot. We've got fenugreek seeds, whole seeds. This is used in India a lot. We pretty much got you covered. Well, I don't use Italian spices too much, but they usually come in powder form. What I have found, though, is there's like some things that you kind of can mix this up yourself, too. You can get the kind of leafy things, basil, oregano. I like to use fresh, since we've got a little window garden. Fresh oregano and basil, unbelievable, and just a class by themselves. So when you can get them fresh, like if you can have a window box, which we can here, then I would say do that. Okay, so guys, what do we need to know? Oh, yes, now there's a couple of other fresh things that are sometimes considered spices. They're also a vegetable, but fresh coriander, fresh parsley, and this is celery tops. Sometimes they used to call for celery tops in soup. It's like a spice. They can be kind of bitter and a very strong celery taste, and so used lightly. It's different from the stem. Okay, now you've got kind of an overview, I think, of the different areas that you'll need to know. And what we'll be covering soon is how to cook them to bring out the best. The different cultures will often have different oils for that. So like in India, they'll use clarified butter called ghee, or in Thailand, they'll be using the coconut oil, and in Asia, sesame oil. Any one of those is pretty good to saute spices in, any of those. And we'll cover which oils are like not the best to put on high heat, and then you'll get a feel for it. You see, like, I'm not going to put all these things in one dish, but I am going to show you what to add first, and how long they should cook, and like that. And what it will be getting is a feel for what it smells like in your kitchen. I mean, I wish you could be here, but you'll be starting to get a feel. If it starts to be burning, you'll start to know. If it's undercooked, you'll know. You can taste it raw, and you'll know. And you can have a friend there maybe who's made it before, even. You know, who's cooked with these things. That's a nice backup if you can have it. Anyway, guys, have fun. There will be a list underneath the video here to tell you which ones you might need for this coming up project. Love you.